Well, like I said, Canelo is the last fighter in our generation that's uh, a Hall of Famer, that got the biggest name in the sport. Uh, a little bit, but my main reason coming out here was to get away,
Okay.
to mine and, be away from everybody and everything back at home and just focus on boxing.
Terrence Crawford just declared the victory is already in his bag, and rumors swirl about a secret deal with Turki Al-Sheikh that could shake up the entire fight. In addition, the stakes for Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford just got a lot nastier as the news recently broke that whoever manages to put the other man to sleep is walking away with a fat bonus stacked on top of their payday. This extra cash has fans buzzing about whether we'll see these two play it safe or swing for the fences until someone hits the canvas.
It was recently announced that there will be a bonus for the fighter that knocks out his opponent.
As both men bring stacks of experience and a history of big wins to the ring, this time the stakes are even bigger. The fight is a unification of the middleweight division championship fight. It is a winner-takes-all scenario.
Terrence Crawford is 41-10 with 31 of his victories coming from knockout, whereas Canelo Alvarez has 63 wins, only 2 losses, 2 draws, and with 39 victories coming from a KO.
So you haven't lost a fight in nearly 20 years. That is unbelievable.
In Bud's eyes, Canelo is the last big name of their era, the final Hall of Famer standing with a mountain of accolades and the biggest spotlight in boxing. So Crawford asks, why not chase that crown? Why not jump up and wait and try to smash through Canelo's legacy in his own backyard?
Well, like I said, Canelo is the last fighter in our generation that's a Hall of Famer.
While Crawford is gunning to dethrone the last king of his era, he is also reminding everyone that this moment didn't happen overnight. He made it clear he didn't just stumble into this mega fight. Every battle along the way has forged him into the man standing across from Canelo this September.
All the fights along the way, helped me and prepared me for this moment. I'm good. We in Colorado Springs right now. We already had our first workout of the day. We got another one here this afternoon, and it's all about working and recovering and eating. That's pretty much it, and resting.
Additionally, he gave Canelo his props, calling him one of the most seasoned warriors out there, but made sure everyone knows he's no rookie either. Crawford says every scrap, every round, every bruise has built him for this moment, and now he's ready to test his experience against the very best in the entire sport.
Canelo's a very experienced fighter. I have my experience as well, and I think all the fights that's leading up till now has played a part into me being where I am right now.
Building on that, WWE superstar Seth Rollins threw in his 2 cents, claiming Crawford is holed up in Colorado for one reason only: the thin air. According to Rollins, Crawford wants that blood pumping. However, Crawford let him know that it was not just the air, but because he wanted privacy so he could focus on his camp.
Okay. All right. And you guys you're in Colorado, so I assume the elevation, that's the thing, the altitude. You want to get that blood oxygenated for that cardio, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've been doing this since 2013, before I was even, world champion. So we're used to it by now.
However, Crawford let him know that it was not just the air, but because he wanted privacy so he could focus on his camp without distractions.
A little bit, but my main reason coming out here was to get away.
Okay.
To mine and, be away from everybody and everything back at home and just focus on boxing.
Doubling down on how deep he's taking this, Crawford opened up about his mental game, saying the mindset is just as critical as the muscle. He admitted there's a huge mental shift when you cut yourself off from family and friends and leave the comfort of your own backyard.
On your own.
Oh, it's definitely, something that goes hand in hand with being away from your family and your friends and being not being able to be comfortable in your natural habitat. Of course we comfortable now because we've been coming here for years, but at the same time we know once we get to Colorado it's all business.
However, brushing off all the hype around his spotless record, Crawford made it clear he doesn't wear that undefeated streak like a crown. He says he could be the favorite on paper, but in his head, he's always the underdog fighting for every inch. Crawford wants everyone to know that when he steps through those ropes, he does it hungry, ready to prove a point all over again, even if it means tearing through Canelo.
No, actually, I never think about, myself just being undefeated. I always, look at it like it's 0-0, going first round, because, I could be the favorite, but in my mind, I'm the underdog. So just like to this fight, I'm the underdog. So, I'm going in there, as if I'm the underdog to go out there and prove a point.
Doubling down, Crawford said that going in with that underdog mindset is exactly what keeps him sharp. He believes it's the secret that fuels his preparation and keeps him hungry to smash expectations every time.
For sure, it gives me that mental edge to keep pushing a little bit harder because, I'm already, down 2 rounds, being that the popularity and, the person that I'm going up against is in a higher weight class than me. So, in my mind, I'm already down 2 rounds. I gotta make up for, those 2 rounds with the work that I put in going into this fight.
On top of that, Turki Al-Sheikh stirred the pot even more, claiming the old pay-per-view model has taken a serious hit, and now fans can catch these blockbuster fights with nothing more than a DAZN subscription. He says this move was all about fighting back against piracy.
First of all, the pay-per-view is damaged in the last 10 years. With the piracy, with the internet everywhere, with the piracy, the main things, and the VPN. For that, if you see as that doesn't mean we don't want the money back. I think the pay-per-view is dying. And especially what happened in the last 2-3 years.
Furthermore, Turki stated that pay-per-view events are expensive, so when people have to constantly pay, they go for the piracy options, which causes more harm than good.
If you put plus on that, the pay-per-view with, like, now we have 3 cards in 1 month. If you put extra money, it will cost the customers a lot. This can make it for the customers thinking, and this is not right, but they are thinking, oh, I will not renew, I will try to see it piracy and saving money.
Adding another layer to the clash, WBC light middleweight champ Sebastian Fondora put his money on Canelo, saying the Mexican star is in his sweet spot at 168, where he outshines everyone and is at his most dangerous self.
Terrence Crawford, what's your thoughts, brother?
I have Canelo. Canelo's comfortable at 168. Crawford's going up. Crawford looks good at 168.
Yeah.
But, again, this is going to be his first fight. I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terrence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, 2 different divisions.
Fondora didn't hold back, pointing out that while Crawford might look sharp on the scales, this will be his first real war at super middleweight. He threw shade at Crawford's jump to 154 too, saying he didn't exactly dominate, and now he's skipping up 2 divisions in 1 leap. Fondora says the big question isn't about skills, but about whether Crawford's body can handle the extra weight in the ring.
And he looked great at 154, but I feel that there's some things that maybe he was lacking going up on that weight, and now he's going up 2 more weight classes, so we'll see how he reacts to the weight.
Got you, brother.
There's a lot of big names.
Do you think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why is that? Why?
This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting 168 for 4 or 5 years now. Crawford's a great fighter. But, we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen.
Having traded blows with Crawford himself, Shawn Porter didn't hesitate to put his full faith behind him, giving Terrence a 100% shot at pulling this off. Porter fired up the hype even more by calling this fight a true 50-50 split, saying both men bring so many weapons to the table that either one could walk away with the crown.
100% chance this is a true 50-50 fight. I think they both have a lot of components that determine them both winning this thing. It's not a one-sided fight either way. It's true 50-50. It's my boy. I'm rooting for him. I do think that he's more than capable of winning, but then there's this thing inside of me that's like, Canelo's great. So for me, I can't turn off that he's great. Terrence has to,
However, Canelo Alvarez fired with a sly jab, saying he's locked in and ready, but maybe Turkey should tighten up that ring so Crawford has nowhere to run. Canelo made it clear he's not expecting a dance, he wants a fight, and he's already poking at Crawford's style, hinting that he plans to cut him off in the corner.
But recently, the last bunch of years, guys have been running from you and you've had to chase them. What are you prepared to do against Terrence Crawford? How do you think he's going to fight you?
Everything. I don't know what fight he's gonna make, but I'm gonna prepare myself for every style he brings. I hope he brings a good style to make a good fight for the people. That's what I want. If not, I'm gonna do my best to win in every way.
You hear when he says make a good fight for the people, Terrence, he's saying he hopes you don't run. And Turkey has a knockout bonus in this fight. And there seems to be something out there like the way for you to win this fight is to move. Is that true?
In addition, Dean White jumped into the mix, saying he's got love for both warriors, but tipping his hat to Crawford for daring to climb the weight division to face a monster like Canelo. Although he praised Crawford for his skill and grit he's bringing to the table, saying he's got everything it takes to excel at 168 pounds, he could not hide his worry about Crawford's ability to eat Canelo's power punches.
I'm a big fan of both. Canelo, they say, is the face of boxing, done great for boxing, done great for Mexico. And Crawford, man, he's my guy still. Big Crawford doing big things, stepping up 2 weight divisions. He, for me, has the skill, the tenacity to go up there and do stuff. I don't think, I hear people talking about him getting knocked out. I'm not too sure about that, but I think he said he spars bigger guys and heavier guys. He is quite tall for the weight, what he boxed at, like welterweight and super welterweight. And to go up these 2 other divisions to face this kind of opponent, I'm not so sure because how he takes them punches by Canelo. But, I'm going to be rooting, I'm going to be behind Crawford, and I hope he pulls it off.
Adding to that, White stated that he wanted Canelo to fight Hamza Shiraz next, praising Hamza's ability and believing in him. He voiced his enthusiasm for this fight, hoping it could be made next.
I want to see Hamza Shiraz. Yeah, I want to see Hamza Shiraz. I think Hamza Shiraz, he's been skillful, man. I remember we used to fight, I used to bring my fighters to go and spar with him, Sam Antwi, and it was great work, and he was always a big puncher from then. He probably is a bit too big for the weight class, but he's grown into himself. To be honest, Belango was always good, but he wasn't that as technically as good as Shiraz. Shiraz is good at the straight 1-2 down the pipe.
Adding his voice to the noise, Robert Garcia drew a line between the old days and now, saying people shouldn't compare Canelo fighting Mayweather to this showdown with Crawford. Garcia pointed out that back when Canelo faced Floyd, he was just 23, still green, and learning under the bright lights. He admitted Crawford has the footwork and speed to cause problems, but warned fans not to mix up the styles. According to Garcia, these 2 matchups are worlds apart.
I think it's totally different. I think, Canelo was only 23, he was very young. I think this fight's gonna be great. I do see Crawford maybe pulling it off because he's got good footwork, good speed, but I don't think they're close. I don't similar those 2 fights, Canelo and Floyd. I think they're just different styles. I mean, Floyd and Crawford.
On the flip side, Eddie Hearn threw out a bold take, saying Crawford might step in there with Canelo and then hang up the gloves for good once it's done. But looking at how this fight shapes up, Hearn made it clear Crawford's biggest weapon isn't just his skills, but that rock-solid self-belief that makes him a nightmare for Canelo.
Crawford's only going to have big money fights.
He's 37, going on 38.
I think he'll fight Canelo, and he's done.
He's done. Yeah. He's done. And how do you think he does against Canelo?
You see, the thing is with Terrence, he's got massive self-belief, and that's quite dangerous. Not for him. Like not against him, sorry, for him. Like he's so, I think he has no doubt that he beats Canelo Alvarez.
Of course.
I really like Terence, bro. I think he's a great fighter. But I have to say, like, tell me his major significant wins.
Well, obviously, Errol Spence.
Yeah, but come on.
And while David Benavidez admitted this clash has all the makings of a thriller, he didn't hold back about where he sees the scales tipping. Benavidez gave Crawford his due for the slick technique and sharp skills, but made it clear that the size difference is a game changer. In his eyes, that extra weight swings the odds to Canelo's corner, giving him a solid 60% chance to shut Crawford down and hold his ground as the king at 168.
Does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo Alvarez?
I think if anybody has a opportunity, has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight, you know what I mean? And he didn't have a hard time at 154, but he wasn't like, you know what I mean? The other guy was getting him with some good punches, you know what I mean? So he felt the power at 154. So imagine you go up to 160, 160. Madrimov is a good fighter. And then, you know, you're fighting a strong fighter like Canelo. So, I mean, I feel like it's like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses either.
No fight. More like a 60-40 only because of the weight difference, but you can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring, and I think it's like 60-40.
Adding more heat to the debate, Virgil Ortiz Jr. didn't hesitate to share his take, calling it a good fight on paper, but warning that Crawford might just be too small to handle Canelo's power up close.
It's a good fight. I think it's a real good fight. I just think Crawford's too small. I just think he's too small. He had one fight at 154, and now he's moving to 168 to fight one of the best of all time. Now, Crawford is one of the best of all time himself. He's just a smaller one of the best of all time, and I think that's just what's going to be the factor here. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. I think he has a good chance. I think he really does. I think it's a real close fight, if anything. I just think that Canelo will win, not only because he has skill, because you have to have skill to win, especially against Crawford, who has never lost, but he's going to be... I think he might be a little too big.
Furthermore, Kermel Moton didn't sugarcoat anything when he weighed in on Canelo versus Crawford, saying Crawford making that leap to 168 is no small move, but he still sees him having a real shot at pulling it off and is backing him all the way. For Moton, this one's a straight up 50-50 scrap where the better man on the night walks away with everything.
Well, it's a big jump for sure, but you know, I feel like Crawford definitely has a great chance. You know, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. You know, I really don't know who will come out on top of that one. I just feel like the better man that night will win. So you know, I feel like the fans are the winners in that one.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Who you got, champ?
I don't have a pick. I feel like I'm a root for Crawford, and so I just feel like Crawford is more multi-dimensional. He can do more things in the ring. You know, he can get on his toes if he really needs to, and then he can also bang in the pocket, obviously. And I feel like Canelo's a great, but I feel like he's more one-dimensional. He's just gonna put that pressure, you know, slick head movement, try to come with them counters. But I just feel like Crawford gonna have the speed advantage, and he gonna probably just outbox Canelo. But I don't have no pick right now, but I'm rooting for Crawford.
In addition, Troy Nash threw in his thoughts, calling Canelo a great fighter, but warning that anyone who stays on the move all night can give Canelo headaches he doesn't want.
Canelo is still a great fighter, you know. Anybody who moves the whole entire time in front of a fighter like Canelo's gonna have problems with him. And Canelo just really, it seemed like he couldn't get into no rhythm, you know, all night. And he just couldn't really do too much.
However, even though Crawford is a moving fighter, Troy states that Crawford will be in the middle of the ring, trading blows with Canelo.
But Crawford not gonna move like that. Crawford probably gonna sit there with him, and you know, it ain't gonna be a whole bunch of moving. So I still got the same outlook and same opinion on that fight. It's gonna be a great fight. I got Bud winning, but it definitely ain't just no walk in the park like people are talking.
Moreover, Anthony Yarde backed up the size talk, saying the weight advantage could be the ultimate difference maker in this clash, but apart from that, they have similar skills.
And to be fair with you, that's the only reason I would say if I had to choose someone, I would choose Canelo.
That's okay.
I got off the flight today. I'm tired.
Yeah, jet lag.
That's the only reason I will lean towards Canelo, because of, again, the opposition that he's fought, his resume, one of the best in boxing, if not the best in boxing, and he's very, very, very comfortable at the weight. Crawford, it's going to be an ask for him. We'll see, man. As from what we've seen of Crawford so far, when he's gone up in weight, he's looked better. So at 147, he looked amazing.
So whether it's Crawford proving size means nothing when skill and hunger collide, or Canelo reminding the world why he's the undisputed king at 168, fans are guaranteed fireworks when these two step between the ropes. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat, and we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates.